Hey everybody, I really hope you enjoyed that fan-made trailer. And yes, everything in it is fabricated. There's no official announcement for this. This is just something that's been in my head for a very long time. I decided to make it, and I thought it turned out pretty good, so I thought I'd share it with y'all. And I did do pretty much every bit of that, though there was a little bit of filming help thanks to Mark, so thank you very much, Mark. But the reason why I chose to make that trailer is I really enjoyed the road trip events. I went to 3 of them. I went to Manchester, I went to London, and I went to Paris. And they were all fantastic events. I really liked how they were set up. For starters, the truck exists. It's actually a real thing, and it looks amazing. The people that made the truck did a fantastic job, and everything in-game was great. The raids, the spawns, the researches, literally everything was pretty much perfect about it, and I really enjoyed it. Plus, it was really great getting to meet everybody at those events, and thank you to everybody who came up and said hi. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to go to any more of these road trip events because summer travel in Europe is very expensive. Plus, I have a few other plans that I've already made, but I really did enjoy them, and if you can make your way to one of these events in the future, definitely do it. It's totally worth it. It's a lot of fun. But that really got me thinking about potential future road trips and how to mix it up a little bit. And then I thought to myself, well, clearly Team Go Rocket would be a great one, just taking over the truck. And we haven't really had a rocket takeover of a live event in a really long time. We did have one during one of the past Go Fests, but it was during the time when the world was closed down. We didn't really have a lot of in-person stuff with it. It was just a global Go Fest where you had to fight Giovanni and you would get Shadow Mewtwo for the first time, plus we had Victini and such like that. So I think it would be pretty cool to have a rocket takeover of a live event. And this would be a good way to beta test if it could be done in a larger scale, like a city safari even. But with this road trip event, it's just a small portion of the city, and we'll see what people think about it. So with that being said, let's dive into all the fun bonuses. For starters, this event would take place from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., just like all the other road trips. And our event bonuses would be very rocket themed, obviously. But for starters, we're gonna have boosted rockets on Pokestops. It's the most basic one. We get it for every single takeover event, so clearly we would have it here. But also we would have increased balloons, but not every 2 hours. You would get these things every 10 to 15 minutes, so you'd get 6 to 4 of them an hour. We have had that bonus in the past. I think it would definitely fit this event. We'd also get a bonus that we haven't seen in a very long time, and that is every time you defeat a Team Go Rocket Grunt, you would get 2 radar pieces as opposed to 1. We had that one time, and it was fantastic, so it would be great to see it back for this event. And here's a brand new one that I don't know if they would ever do, but I would like it, is if you purify a Pokemon during this event and you're within the event space, it will purify slightly better than it normally does. At this current moment, they give you 2 extra stats and an HP, attack, and defense, but this time it would do 3. Just a small little upgrade, nothing too crazy, but I think it would be pretty cool, especially if you did a lot of shadow raids and you had that one that was so close to being a purifiable hundo or something like that. That way it's an extra bonus. Or perhaps we could have it as a randomized system where 222 is the baseline for the purification, but if you purify something, it could be a 444 or anything in between. Let's just say you purify a Shadow Lugia, but instead it gains 2 and then 4 and then 3, or any other combination like that. I don't know if the randomization would be something people would like. Maybe people would prefer the guaranteed 333, but just an idea. And also something I would really love to see during this event is Shadow Pokemon in the wild during this event. And I would like them to be rare. I don't want them to be everywhere. And maybe the reason why we've never seen that in the past is because of the potential of all the shadow effect on the Pokemon chugging the game real hard. I really don't know. You can have a Shadow Pokemon as your buddy, and it does have the aura and stuff like that. But maybe it would be too much for the game. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it would be cool to have wild shadows. But again, make them pretty uncommon. Like, you have to really walk around the event space to truly take advantage of that part specifically. And last, but certainly not least, of course, we want the Meowth balloon back. Give us Jesse and James. We haven't seen them in years. And it would be great to have them as a random potential from the balloons coming down, again, every 10 to 15 minutes. I think that'd be just so great because so many people have wanted to see them come back. And I would want them to either have Ekans and Coughing because that's accurate to them, or maybe road trip specific shadows that can be shiny. I would definitely keep the Pokeballs on the ground as well. I think that's great. It definitely fits the rocket theme as well, because in the main series games, every time you clicked on something in a hideout or something like that, it had the potential of turning into either a Voltorb or an Electrode. But this time, give us the ability to see shiny Electrode and shiny Hisuian Electrode and shiny Fungus as an encounter. Make it rare for sure, why not? But like, that would be awesome. But it definitely fits the theme, and I really do like it. As for wild spawns, I would say probably keep them about the same as what we've seen with these other events, but maybe swap out a few of these Pokemon for some different stuff, like rocket themed stuff, like Zubat, Meowth, Ekans, Coughing. Make those the shadows we can see in the wild. And also, I'd like to see a brand new shiny Shadow. I think shiny Shadow Fampy would be really perfect for this because he's literally a tire elephant. It just makes sense. Plus, I think it would be a fantastic fantastic shiny Shadow as a Dawn fan, obviously. They could also introduce a brand new Rocket character, the one who took over the truck. And by battling that individual is how you get the shiny Shadow Phanpy, or at least the potential of getting that shiny Shadow Phanpy. And maybe you would have to use the Rocket radars, kind of like leader battles, in order to find the guy over and over again. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it would just be in a special research where the character shows up. I know it's a lot extra to throw in, so you could probably just toss this one aside, but it would be kind of fun to have a brand new Rocket character. And for our 1-star raids, of course, we would have Rocket Pikachu in there. That would be the special Pikachu of the event. Of course, it would have background cards depending on the location in which you catch it at. And it would also be in the research, and I would keep it the same as a trade a Pokemon task. It's a very simple task, especially if you have friends around. And also, that's why I didn't make it a Shadow Rocket Pikachu, is because you want to be able to trade these to friends that couldn't make it to the event. So I think having Rocket Pikachu in raids would just be perfect. And in case you're curious how I made the Rocket Pikachu, I had to combine 3 different Pikachus. It was the Sinnoh Hat Pikachu, the Bally Shirt Pikachu, and the Captain Pikachu's face. That's how I created that Pikachu, and I really like it, though obviously I'm sure they could do better when they have the actual assets to make it. And of course we'd have Shadow Raids there, 1 stars, 3 stars, and 5 stars as well. They would just be on the gyms that the Pikachus aren't showing up on, so that way we have guaranteed Pikachu gyms, just like we did at the previous events. But then we could also have more Shadow Raids to do, which you could purify and possibly get some really good stuff from them. As for the 5-star, I don't know what to choose for that. I can't really think of a road trip legendary. If you can think of one, definitely let me know in the comments down below, but I personally don't know what legendary I would choose. I mean, Lugia makes sense because it is one of the OG Shadow legendaries from previous games and stuff like that, so I could just see Shadow Lugia showing up a lot. But other than that, I'm not 100% sure. Plus, as we've seen with other live events and the road trip events, sometimes there are other events that are happening on top of these events, and we could also get a Shadow Raid Day in the middle of one of those things, as we're about to do with Kyogre. As mentioned before, there will be event-themed research during this time, and it will give you the Pikachu encounter, and it would just be a trade task. And I think I'd keep it there. I think they did a really good job on that one. But there would also be the timed research for whatever city that you show up in, so you can get that Pikachu a little ahead of time, though it will not have a background, just like all the other ones. But there would also be another timed research that you get during the time, and maybe I would just have it be Varoom again. I really liked that it was Varoom. It'd be cool if it was a Shadow Varoom. I'm sure they could do that, but I don't know. And of course, during this event, the local ambassadors would be there to do raid trains and stuff like that. You know, just a lot of community-focused stuff. And of course, during the in-person event, they would also have merch and photo opportunities, just like all the other ones. But when it comes down to where this road trip should happen, I'm not 100% sure. As an American, obviously, America would love to have this. I'm sure you guys would. But also, Australia, you guys really have been just begging for an event, and trust me, I want you guys to get one too, so it'd be cool if it was like a whole Australian road trip. Obviously, the east coast of Australia has a ton of cities that I know a lot of people play in, and a lot of people would love to see this event at. So maybe it would start on the east coast, make their way down to Sydney and stuff like that, and then make their way to Perth at the end, because I think Perth is the one that's all the way on the west side, which is a really long flight to get to, and I'm sure the drive is even worse. So maybe it starts on the east coast and ends in the west coast. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that would be great. As for America, you could do it the same way. Maybe start in New York City, make your way down to like Florida, cut across all the way through some of the mid-states, maybe even make your way up to Chicago, then end off probably in California or Seattle or something like that. And like I mentioned before, the Pikachu caught in each of these cities would have the backgrounds, and I think it would be really cool to have the New York City background, even though we already have pretty much 3 of them. I know one's Jersey, but whatever. And also for Australia, it would be cool to have a Sydney Opera House one, and whatever else is famous in Australia. I'll have to look those up, and whatever you're seeing here is what you're seeing. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think of this little event. It's just me spitballing, but I think it would be a lot of fun. Smash that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see even more of my content, I highly suggest this video right over here. But with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.